While Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is out there in the world being super hard and kickstarting yet another debate about whether or not games should have easy modes, personally I still maintain that the mere existence of an easy mode in a game doesn't actually ruin the game for anyone, since you can just play it in whatever mode you want. But anyway, while Sekiro's out there being super hard and having those debates surround it, here's Yoshi's Crafted World, which is about as chill as you can get. And actually, in my opinion, makes the perfect complement to Sekiro. If you're playing Sekiro and it's frustrating you or being really difficult, you need a little breather, this is it. Yoshi's Crafted World is the ultimate breather game. It's got a little bit of resistance, I guess, in the form of enemies, but enemies are there more to be used as tools than as obstacles. There are bosses and things like that, but it's all at a rather relaxed pace, and it's no worse for that. Yoshi's Crafted World it's just a nice little time, if I'm honest with you. The real challenge comes in getting all the collectibles. Each level has a number of smiley flowers that you can pick up. It's got red coins that you can pick up. It's got all sorts of things, regular coins, loads of stuff to collect. And that's where the real challenge lies, is in, like with many modern Nintendo platformers, like, New Super Mario Brothers or the Kirby games, the challenge isn't really in getting through the levels. You can breeze through the levels, no problem. The real challenge is in, where have they hidden whatever that game has, be it smiley flowers or coins or stars, whatever it is. The smiley flowers are the most important thing you pick up, and they're used to progress through the game. You've played many games like this, where you've got to collect a certain amount of things in the previous levels to unlock the new ones. There'll be this little gatekeepy robot piece of crap that demands a certain number of stars, I'm talking like it's a Mario game, a certain number of flowers before it will step aside, and very much like everything else in this game, it's not that big a deal. You almost always, if you're not trying to rush through the levels, you'll almost always have enough flowers to trade to keep moving forward. It's just something to keep you invested in level exploration rather than simply level completion, which is not a bad thing to do, because Yoshi's Crafted World is a beautiful game. First and foremost, it's yet another game of the many games, often made by Nintendo, if I'm honest, that prove you don't need ridiculously, absurdly expensive, bespoke engines to make your games pretty. You need good art direction and a unique voice, a visual voice, which is what Crafted World has. It's the textures of the woolly characters and the knitted and the cardboard worlds that Yoshi runs around in. That's what makes this game look really, really nice, whether you're playing handheld or on a big screen. It stands out because it's unique, and they've done things that not a lot of other games do with their textures and the overall direction of the visual representation that makes it stand out more than technically better looking games that just stick to, drab colour schemes, which can be beautiful in their own way, but most of the time they just make muddy grey games with really, drab and dull, boring colour grading that makes everything just look a bit maudlin. Then you play something like this, especially on an HD TV, and it can be more impressive than a lot of, technically superior games, because it's using real bright colours that pop up on an HD TV. I've made that point before many times about games. To me, good use of colour is always going to impress me more than just having horsepower under your game's hood, really. Really, really pretty game. Nice music. Not great music. It's nice. It's charming. It's sometimes bores itself into your head through repetition. It's not great, but it's not terrible. It's just there. It's just some whimsical music to go along with the whimsical game. It's the kind of game you play to unwind. There is a little bit of thinking involved where you've got to, work out what in the environment you can throw an egg at. Some of the timed challenges are harder. Sometimes a level will have a smiley flower gated by something you've got to do in a time limit. Either throwing eggs at things in the background within a certain amount of time, picking up a number of apples that appear in the world for a limited time. Some of those can get more challenging. They can actually get fairly tricky, but for the most part, you're not going to be worried about dying. Anyway, here's why I like the game. In-game gambling! But it's not for real money, it's just for coins you actually collect in the level, so you get fun random rewards with this whole, gashapon looking thing. But it's not actually costing you money, so it's not really insidious, it's just fun. And you get these cute little costumes that Yoshi can wear. And they're really awesome because they're basically boxes that Yoshi holds with their hands, like the skeleton one here, and then just runs along the level carrying it. Bloody adorable, that. I really like it. Plus, it's always fun to just collect costumes. Actually collect them in the game, using a currency you've earned from playing the game. Huh? How about that? You play the game and you get costumes. It's like how games used to be. When they were good. Not when they were crap. So anyway, there's some nice level variety. Nothing too mind-blowing, but sometimes you'll be piloting a big Yoshi robot that punches. You'll be running from a big skeleton dinosaur like we see here. You might be controlling a plane by running along the plane's backside to make it move upwards and then running to the plane's front to make it nosedive. Really interesting little quirky things. Nothing that, as I say, nothing that will blow your mind. Nothing about this game is a massive innovation, is a big game changer for the industry or the genre. It's, like I've said already, it's just nice. And we could all do with a little bit of that. It's why I appreciate a lot of the stuff that's happening on the Switch, especially, is it is just it's just full of pleasant games. I like my Dark Souls, I like my Grim Dark, I like my shooters, but sometimes you do just want to forget everything and pick up a bunch of shiny golden coins and then wear a cardboard wheelbarrow and put that on your knitted stuffed dinosaur. That's something we all want to do in life, I think. And that's it. There really ain't much to say about it. And it's one of those games where not having much to say about it isn't necessarily a terrible thing. It speaks for itself. I mean, I maybe could have just shown you footage without talking all over it, subjecting you to my voice. I could have just shown it and said, here, do you like the look of that? And it plays how it looks, so you probably will enjoy it. So really what I'm doing here by talking is wasting your time. I'm wasting my time. Really, I'm just wasting my fucking time.